Hi there, it's Colin, Mile High Modern. Now we're in June talking about May stats. Let's go. Interesting market that we are in, one that I have not experienced before. I think that most people that have been doing this for a decade or more would also agree. Why is it different? Well, we have right now more inventory on than we've had in a decade. That rings true. If you look at the stats, we have double-digit inventory growth in all the markets that I work in, the city of Boulder, Boulder County, Denver Metro. We have a lot of options for buyers. That said, there's not a lot of buyers out there. Interest rates remain high as it relates to 40-year averages. We're somewhere in between the high sixes, low sevens, depending on the day. Of course, that could change tomorrow. I don't know. And I don't know when they're going to go down. If they will go down at all, again, unknown. So the market that we're in is different because of the level of inventory, the rate of absorption, and overall, of course, there's the broader economic considerations, the uncertainty that is causing people to pause. Does it mean you can't execute a wonderful, flawless transaction in 2025? No. But it does mean that there are different considerations this year than we've had in years past. And where sellers are winning right now, and I know this is the biggest friction point when I'm dealing with clients, is getting a home under contract, finding the right buyer, and competing against what can be very difficult competition in certain neighborhoods. There are neighborhoods right now where if you were a buyer, you may have 4 or 5 options of very similarly styled homes, duplexes, condos for sure to choose from. So how do you separate yourselves? Well, marketing is of course what we specialize in, getting the best photography we possibly can. The biggest differentiator is going to be your condition and how you price based on that condition. So if you're the belle of the ball, if you're the best home in the neighborhood, perhaps you can reach for the stars. And when I say reach for the stars, I mean use the most recent comps and then maybe even price against those to be a little bit competitive there. So edge those out on pricing. Make it really exciting for that buyer. If your condition is maybe needing updating or not perhaps the best, it's just a pricing conversation to pull back a little bit. Buyers do have choices now. So we want to make sure that if they elect to choose something with a condition that's different than the best one in the neighborhood, that price accommodates for some updating. Fairly simple. However, the paradigm, the shift between this seller favorable, seller friendly market that we've been in for almost a decade, that's where I'm seeing the most issue, the most hesitation, and the most challenges, is that really we are in a place where we have to start thinking differently on the sell side and understanding that we are now competing with other homes in the neighborhood, and we are competing with where prices are going in the next week, 2 weeks, quarter, whatever you want to call it. We want to be ahead of pricing versus behind. So some considerations there, and I know I didn't really touch a lot on buyers because the biggest headwind you're facing is pricing and interest rates. And the advice I can give you on those is somewhat limited. It's very much out of your control. However, buyers, other than that, what's in your control is you have options now. There are great homes that are selling for at or below list price. There is little to no competition in most areas. There are exceptions to that rule. So it's a really great time to be out as a buyer as long as you can stomach the interest rates and you're okay with how the pricing is. And of course, you want to be ready to stay in your home. These days, I would say for at least 5 years. So if it's a 5-year or more plan, probably a great time to be out. Other than that, I think that's all I have for this month. I'll talk to you next and take care. Ciao.